Hi everyone, the topic that I chose is fertilizer and its effects on drinking water. My name is Hunter Gash. Here's a picture of an algal bloom, as I will discuss later in the PowerPoint. So what is fertilizer? Fertilizer is a substance added to soil to increase the amount of nutrients available to plants. It is used commercially in the agricultural industry to increase the yield of crops. Fertilizers provide nutrients in the form of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and some other essential nutrients. The added nutrients in the soil provide support for a larger yield of crops. Fertilizer usage has transitioned from natural fertilizers such as manure and compost to synthetic fertilizers such as ammonium nitrate and urea. Here are the three most common elements found in synthetic fertilizers: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. There are two widely used subgroups of fertilizers. The first is synthetic fertilizers, which are synthesized from inorganic materials in organic chemistry laboratories, most commonly found as nitrate fertilizers. They may also consist of phosphorus or potassium and sometimes even all three. This is a visual of what an inorganic fertilizer usually looks like when applied to the soil. And the next subgroup is organic fertilizers, which consist of organic or minimally processed materials, the most common form being manure, usually from cows. And these fertilizers contain nitrogen and phosphorus in their natural forms. It's important to note that both types of fertilizers can have adverse effects on drinking water. Here are a few adverse effects on bodies of water. Excess nitrogen and phosphorus that is not utilized by crops is washed away by precipitation or leaches into the ground. These nutrients pollute waterways, causing several adverse effects such as eutrophication, which is excess nutrients in a water system, hypoxia, which is a lack of oxygen, and decreases in aquatic life. These effects adversely affect human health by causing water to be undrinkable and unusable. Excess nitrogen leached into groundwater can also cause several health problems, particularly for infants if consumed in drinking water. Here's a visual that shows fertilizer runoff as it occurs. As you can see, precipitation hits fields that contain fertilizer, and this water with fertilizer then washes into receiving bodies of water, which may be used for drinking water. And sometimes nitrogen leaches into the ground, which contaminates groundwater supplies, which many people use for drinking water. Now I'm going to go over algal blooms, which are a result of eutrophication, which is excess nutrients in water bodies. Excess nutrients from fertilizer runoff in water causes algae to grow at a rapid rate called an algal bloom. These algal blooms consume oxygen in the water, killing fish and other aquatic life and depleting oxygen supplies in the water body. Certain algal blooms also contain large amounts of toxins harmful to humans if consumed or come into contact with. Toxins like microcystin can cause symptoms such as headaches, skin and respiratory irritation, diarrhea, vomiting, nausea, numbness, dizziness, and impaired liver or kidney function if ingested in drinking water or through other means. Here are two different visuals showing algal blooms. As you can note, they come in several different colors, including green, blue, and sometimes even red or purple. The second adverse effect is excess nitrates in drinking water. Nutrients from fertilizers can leach into groundwater, a source of potable drinking water for many people, especially in the United States. These excess nitrates, a nitrogen-based compound, can cause adverse health effects for many people if the concentration in drinking water is too high. Nitrates cause an illness called methemoglobinemia, also known as blue baby syndrome in infants if ingested. Blue baby syndrome occurs when nitrates in the body turn to nitrites and oxidize the iron found in hemoglobin. The resulting methemoglobin cannot carry oxygen, causing an oxygen deficiency in the infant's blood. As you can see here, hemoglobin and methemoglobin are two different types of blood cells. One cannot carry oxygen and the other can. Hemoglobin is the normal type of blood cells that is able to carry oxygen. There are several ways that this issue can be solved through the help of many different people. The first is nutrient management, which farmers can apply fertilizers in the correct amount as required by the plants. Chemistry can help us analyze this amount. The second solution is natural buffers, which is when natural buffers between fields and water sources can filter nutrients from runoff before it reaches the body of water. This is most commonly trees. And the third way is watershed collaboration, which is where farmers can partner with scientists and local governments to provide surveillance of water quality and use appropriate management techniques to prevent for nutrient pollution in our drinking water. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope you learned a little bit about fertilizer in drinking water and the adverse health effects that arise from it. Thank you.